At first, there is simply light, a soft glow of pale white iridescence, too beautiful to summon into words. It covers everything, spanning in all directions and leaking into dimensions the newly forged angel cannot yet perceive. He is floating, a tiny ethereal cluster of stars amid the blinding white backdrop of heaven. He has no shape, no distinctive form to call his own, only a bright, coppery band of cosmos that will one day become hair, and the twinkling of golden stardust to form eyes as rich and as warm as the sun. Where am I? The first thoughts flow out of him, fragile as a murmur, but they are there regardless. He shifts, rolling in the infinite void of creation, new and alive and scared. He does not yet know what he is or who he will become, as vital a part of the great plan as gravity to the earth. Now he is alone, and he is frightened. Mother? God? Are you there? He can feel her, nowhere and everywhere all at once. Her presence brushes against his, firm and strong and comforting. But he is blind to her true form. He cannot see her, not yet. Terrified, the newly created angel curls in on himself, the stars swirling to form galaxies in his wake. He is disorientated by the space of it all, by the feeling of being real. Not long ago he was a concept in her mind, an idea, a feeling. Now he exists. He falters, fumbling for a name, something to call himself. But his young consciousness is new and ever expanding, filled with tongues from creatures not yet formed. They will come later, in their own time, whenever they too are ready to be real. And that's when the angel feels it, an emotion bubbling in a small orb of planetary rock soon to form his heart. Loneliness. He reaches out into the light, stretching cosmic tendrils like willow fronds as beads of moisture form the first pattering of rain in heaven, tears of a newborn's cry. Don't be afraid. A voice. It bleeds into the great expanse, as powerful as a thunderclap in what had always been silence. God's latest angel shrinks away, suddenly fearful at the revelation of noise. Someone else is in the void. He senses him before he can see him, a sanctuary of warmth in a world constructed of ice. It draws him in. There is comfort here. There is love, kind, unfathomable adoration for things yet to come. Wings envelope him, soft cosmic clouds of meteor dust orbiting a constellation of eyes. They blink at him, 1,000 strong, each scoured with blue fire. Who are you? The young angel asks, curling a tendril of stars around the stranger's form, as though to root himself there. The other considers this before replying. I am not yet named. That is something to be gifted. He answers gently, in a tone that sounds like the distant boom of colliding galaxies. The young angel coils tighter, his snaking constellations suddenly seeking the urge to embrace, to feel. He knows this presence. It's a deep, primal knowing, a past life perhaps. The other angel smiles, a purple band across the heavens with millions of small glittering teeth. She will later call it the Milky Way. You cannot perceive how long I have waited for you. he breathes, spilling color into the void. I was here for your inception, when our mother claimed you were nothing more than a figment she would bestow upon the universe. I stayed here and watched you for 100 lifetimes, as each star across your body found the will to become life. I didn't want for you to feel alone. There is a silence that follows those words, but it is peaceful, absolute, an exchange of kinship that will last until the end of all things. The young angel settles in its promise, feeling dizzy as his soul begins to take shape, a glowing ethereal ball of light that is born upon the canvas of creation. It blooms like a flower, blinding in its pursuit, as it is pulled into the orbit of another. For a time the two stars twirl clumsily, staggering steps in their celestial dance. They are identically alike, a mirror image of their counterpart, with just enough magnetism to stop them from colliding. Alpha Centauri. The name pours from the newest angel, his copper band of hair leaching into the cosmos of his brother's wings. He feels the power emanating from their souls, newly shaped and ablaze with the promise of divinity. The older angel sighs. It's a soft, beautiful thing, the roar of the ocean, the rushing of wind. The universe seems to breathe with him, tender and loving and sad. The younger angel notices with a start. Do you not like it? He asks, disappointment paling his lustrous colors until he is little more than a milky wisp of nebulous cloud. The older angel shakes himself, the blue fires of his eyes twinkling. It is perfect, he whispers in reassurance, his tone gratingly raw. It is simply that I will miss you when you go. There is a pause. It stretches outward, encompassing what seems like centuries. The two entities continue to circle, lost in the proximity of their orbit, taking company in the certainty of it. Where am I going? The little angel inquires at last. He does not want to leave. I cannot say, replies the other, his many eyes flickering with the unnatural hue of molten ice. But it is destined to be so, a long time from now. But what if I want to stay with you? There is a sadness in the newer soul, deep and mournful for things that have not yet come to pass. The white glow of the heavens falters in answer, leaking black ink into the void until only the ethereal light of the stars shimmer against the pitch. The older angel spreads out his wings, encompassing the darkness like a widow's veil. He is crying. It is part of the great plan, he whispers, and on a distant planet somewhere, Yeshuri can sense the chill of first snow. It is not mine to change. She has orchestrated our steps long before we were born onto this plane. I have seen it, heard it, a story woven into the fabric of eternity. It will be difficult, and sometimes it will be painful, but it will always be beautiful. He pauses, his tears frosting like the trails of meteors spinning haplessly in the cavern of space. And it is a journey you will not take alone. I have asked if I may be allowed to follow you there. The little angel gazes up, his sunshine eyes partially obscured, slitted into snake-like orbs by a passing eclipse. You'll come with me? Yes, in time. The older angel smiles. We will meet in a garden many years from now. I will wait for you on the eastern wall and hold your hand as the world crumbles and the sky burns. We will meet again and again, hundreds of times over 1,000 lives. I will find you in the fire, in the flood, and even when you believe that I am gone, I will betray all the angels in heaven to make it back to you. I choose you, my dear, over God, over righteousness and victory, and the glory of being holy, over everything, for always, my dearest Crowley. The newest angel shudders, the gifting of his name flooding him, drowning him. He gasps, seeing their sprawling future together, his budding mind blooming with the notion of millennia bound to the angel, tighter than the pull of gravity to the earth. He sees a little bookshop nestled in the rain, a foggy city that speaks of isolation, entwined with the notion of being home. He feels the warmth of the dusty shelves crammed with the words of man, the tranquility of a garden entombed between walls of concrete grey. He witnesses it all, the promise of his mother's plan, the fall that will leave him bitter at the mere mention of her name, the agony of abandonment, the coldness of a world endowed in the shadow of her wrath, bereft of heaven's ethereal light, of his belly dragging against the roughness of soil, of despair and heartache and love. Love. It is everywhere, rippling through the fractures of time, mending the ache. He sees it clearly now, a head of pale white curls, of eyes as blue as Plato's glacial oceans, a cherubim smile that will make him yearn for the certainty of his immortal life without the alluring promise of redemption. He will be theirs as much as Crowley will be his, a forgotten memory of goodness and virtue and all things worth existing for. Aziraphale. The name tumbles into the void, colliding with the explosive requiem of dying stars. The newest angel reaches for him, the nebula intertwining, shades of purple, pink, and green combining to form a literal manifestation of them. I love you. The older angel glows at the confession, wings fluttering, painting an aura of light into the cosmos. His emotions drip like ichor from a sacred wound, gushing, unstoppable. No further words needed be spoken, nor utterances bared. The two angels simply coil in each other's embrace as the universe is birthed about them, forming moons and planets and stars, then atmosphere and volcanoes and seas. Life comes with it, and the spiraling galaxies no longer seem so desolate as heavenly eyes take note of their creations. They both understand what is coming. They know it, as certain as they know each other. With each passing decade, their vessels take a more distinguishable shape, developing limbs and teeth and skin, pulling away from each other, softly at first, as their minds ebb and unravel like petals in autumn, forgetting the springtime found in their partner's face. But it is needed to save the world and the untold lives of babes not yet born. A star needs to fall. He needs to forget. And centuries later, when his wings shatter against an ocean of churning sulfur, he gazes up at the sky and weeps, A single promise formed in his heart, branded there from the very beginning of time. I will wait for you, he cries, screaming to the stars, to the blur of a figure he cannot recall. I choose you. I love you. Always.
I am not the only traveler who is not repaid his debt. I'm just searching for a trail to follow again. Take me back to the night we met. And I can ask myself, what the hell that I'm supposed to do? And then I can tell myself not to ride along with you. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm haunted by the ghost of you. Take me back to the night we met. When the night is full of terror and your eyes were filled with tears, when you had not touched me yet, take me back to the night we met. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm haunted by the ghost of you. Take me back to the night we met. I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm haunted by the ghost of you. Take me back to the night we met. Take me back